What acting school / class do you go to? Any tips for a beginner? What type of job do you work that's flexible with being a traveling actress? And where do you find your auditions? Isn't it bad to talk about stuff like this? I heard it can affect people getting the job. Someone said also, I have no idea how to get an agent. Hey guys, it's Dre here. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, thank you so much for getting me to 500 subscribers. 500 subscribers? I think I'm even past that right now. Hold on. 517 guys. 517 subscribers. That's insane. Thank you guys so much for always liking my stuff, commenting on my stuff, viewing my stuff, giving me watch hours. I really do enjoy all of the engagement because it just confirms that other people are liking my content. Like, I started this to make sure that there were other actors on here making content for other people to watch, for other actors to watch, to know what to do on set, or just wanting acting vlogs or acting advice videos, because there are not many lifestyle actor content creators on here. So hopefully as I progress in my craft, I'll give you guys more content. But I'm just so happy that you guys are receiving me well, and I'm very grateful. I also know a lot of y'all that follow me on here also follow me on TikTok, so thank you so much for doing that as well. If you don't follow me on TikTok, my @ is HeyDrea, similar to this one on this platform. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok if you enjoy my content here, because it is this content but more consistent, more in detail, more transparent. If you like this stuff, go to my TikTok because I post pretty frequently on there. But as I'm posting my stuff, a lot of you guys don't know on my YouTube channel because I'm so behind on my editing videos. But a lot of y'all don't know, I did recently book, and it came out, a short film called The Intruder, created by the production company SRG1 Entertainment. As I'm posting all my wins and stuff, I'm getting a lot of comments on my TikTok and questions on my TikTok, as well as on Instagram, about how do I even do what I do. So I thought I'd make this video. It's my second Q&A on this channel. I have made a Q&A before, but it was more about me, and that one did pretty well as well. It's so funny. I think the only time I've ever talked about my subscriber account was the last Q&A, and it was thank you guys so much for 80 subscribers. That's so cute. Let's get to it. So I have a bunch of screenshots of questions that I've received from y'all on pretty much every single platform that I could think of. Who's asking me questions? Oh, let me go to YouTube and screenshot this and just create a video, because people have asked for videos on TikTok, can you make a video on this? And I'm like, guys, I cannot fit all of that into one TikTok video. So I thought, let's make it on YouTube. So here we are. Question number 1. This girl asks, how did you get in a short film? I'm wanting to be an actor myself and I'm curious. With a bunch of emojis. So cute. So I've done about 6 short films in my time and 3 student films, not including The Intruder. This one, how I got this specific one, it was kind of through networking. It was through a girl that I went to high school with. We were also in theater together, did musicals together. We didn't do musicals at the same time because she was a year ahead of me, but she knew of me through theater grapevine. And she was like, hey, I heard you're pursuing TV and film acting. I'm making a film. Would you like to be the lead? And I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even know you knew who I was, because she was an upperclassman when I wasn't an upperclassman. She was like, girl, yeah. And I was like, of course. So that's how I did this short film, but every other short film I've done has been through self-submission. Someone asked, any advice on taking headshots? I did an entire video on headshots because I vlogged it. I vlogged me taking my last year headshots, and I gave a lot of advice on that video, especially on type and branding. I would say one, be very transparent with your photographer. What are you looking for in these headshots that you did not get in your last headshot? Are you being perceived in one way in the industry and you want to be perceived in another way? Make sure you understand how coloring and colors, background colors, affect your appearance and how people will perceive you. Darker colors are more theatrical, but they're also very dramatic and very hard. Lighter colors are very commercial, but they're very softer and more elegant and more just almost petite, I guess. Be very aware of what colors you want to post in front of, and also like what coloring your photographer might edit those headshots to. If you don't know about your type, make sure you do consultations beforehand, maybe with that photographer or with your acting coach or with an agent, someone in the industry. You do not need to get headshots if you can't even tell yourself or figure out what your casting type is or your character type. If you don't know that much, then you're just wasting your money. No matter what outfit you're wearing, like if you were like, oh, I want this to be the more serious outfit with the more serious poses, no matter what that shoot is for, make sure you go through all types of facial expressions and emotions and all of that, because you might have something more useful in that bunch than the other bunch. Make sure you're actually giving emotion and having emotion when taking your headshots, because these are great cameras, guys. These are great cameras, and if you're dead behind your eyes, we can see it. They can see it. And if you're dead in pictures, you're gonna be dead in film, so nobody's gonna cast you. So be lively, be present, have something in your head that you're thinking about. If you're dressed up as a grungy character, as a grungy teen, make sure you're cursing in your head saying, oh, F this teacher type stuff. You know what I mean? And continue saying F that teacher, because then we're gonna see all that angst and grunginess behind your eyes. You can't just show up to the camera dressed as a grungy teacher and give me dead eyes. Can't do that. Next question is, who's your acting agency or manager? I am currently unrepresented. If you know anybody, hit my line, hit my DMs, email me, heydre@gmail.com. If you want to sign me, hi. But I'm currently unrepresented. I've had representation in the past, a lone wolf right now, independent. Next question, another person asked, any tips for a beginner? I'm still trying to figure out, do I join the theater or how do I find acting classes? So let me, because it was about 3 questions in one. Any tips for beginner classes? I don't care what you've heard. I don't care what you think about yourself. You need classes, because classes will teach you pretty much everything. And classes have evolved. A lot of older actors say they don't take classes because they don't really prepare you for a set, because they don't teach you how to do walk-in talks and how to act while performing activities. Like a lot of times you're gonna be jogging in a scene and you're gonna have to act. You're gonna be doing waitress stuff and you're gonna have to pick up multiple items and you're still gonna have to act. Acting classes teach you that stuff these days, especially the good kinds. Mine does right now. So acting classes. As a beginner, you probably don't have any credits. So what's gonna save you is your training. So get in a good, reputable acting class with a reputable teacher. The second question was, I'm still trying to figure out, do I join a theater? So theater is always helpful. Honestly, if you can't see yourself doing short films right now, or if you can't get any short films right now, especially if you're still in school, like middle school, high school, get into theater. Do all of that stuff, because once you graduate, that's going to be your saving grace, and that's going to be what's on your resume is, oh, I was in this musical, and you can leave that on there for about another 2 years because you're fresh out of high school. Theater is always helpful, especially if you're young. It teaches you discipline in acting. It teaches you memorization, large emotions. People get scared about, oh my goodness, I'm gonna overact. There's no such thing as overacting. Continue being you. Like there's no such thing. It may not be what that person wants, but there's no such thing as overacting. So it'll just teach you a bunch of stuff. It also teaches you movement, spacing, taking up room, having endurance and stamina when it comes to acting, because acting requires a lot of social and emotional stamina. So that's what theater does for you. So it's never a bad idea to do theater if that's something that you're considering. If you're not considering that, that's also okay, especially if you're only interested in like TV, film, and commercial, but it definitely does not hurt you. How do I find a acting class? So I googled mine. I also started listening to podcasts, and I've also had this question like, oh, you always mention that you listen to podcasts, and that pretty much teaches you the business side of acting. What podcast do you listen to? I will link everything down below, guys. Please listen to all these things. Like, there are more information on like Spotify than my account, unfortunately. Go listen to those people. You start hearing certain names pop up all the time, and then that's when you realize these are the big dogs in Hollywood. These are the big dogs in the acting industry who are teaching, like Miley Cyrus, people on Bridgerton, and all these other household names. So just start listening to podcasts, start listening to names that keep popping up, going onto Actors Access, IMDb, and seeing actors' resumes, and you'll start seeing many acting studios and acting workshops pop up often on these big actors' resumes, and take classes. Also Google, because of the pandemic as well, most classes are online. I ended up taking acting classes in LA because they're online. And most acting students haven't gone completely back in person. So you can take acting classes from wherever these days. So Google, Instagram as well. There are a bunch of hashtags you can find acting studios and teachers and coaches. Next question, where do you find your auditions? Casting sites, Facebook group chat, Instagram posts. I follow many casting directors on Instagram and Facebook. I joined many actor Facebook group chat. And what you'll do to join Facebook group chat, you will type in your city actors, like Atlanta actor or Atlanta film crew or Atlanta, and for your city specifically. I'm saying Atlanta because I live in Atlanta, but I typed in like Atlanta casting, and there are many group chats that they're just posting stuff saying I need actors for this date. And background as well, you can find background work on Facebook just by following casting directors on Facebook or joining those group chats, Facebook groups. There we go, that's the word. And anything in relation to casting, like any word you can think of, I only did those 4, but you can probably find more groups if you look up more words. That's how I found my auditions. What agency are you signed with, or what casting sites do you use? Not signed with any agency, again. I say as I've been spending this entire month shooting emails to 100+ agencies trying to get signed. Y'all, it is hard out here, okay? It is hard to get signed. You can be doing great work and receiving great feedback from not only your acting coaches but like other actors on TikTok, and people are thinking you're doing big stuff. I'm not doing big stuff. I'm just making this look pretty. Like, anyways, not signed with an agency. What casting sites do I use? So I really only use Actors Access and Instagram and Facebook, what I mentioned before. Other people use Backstage. I don't really use Backstage because Backstage, I recently got back into Backstage, but I haven't been consistently looking at it like I look at Actors Access. I look at Actors Access pretty much every day. But Backstage, there is, and I don't know if this is specific to my city, but Backstage has a lot of social media castings, influencer castings, UGC castings. So it's turning into like that social media actor blend world. Backstage also has a lot of extra work, which I don't feel like I should pay for. If you're looking for extra work, pay for it. But I do have like relations to a background casting office, so they send stuff to my email personally and I received that. I don't know how you can do that, and I can't remember how exactly I got there, but I do that. I do use Casting All Talent as well. I don't know if that's specific to Atlanta, and I haven't heard too much from Casting All Talent since Legacies finished, but they were really like the background people as well for Legacies. Casting Frontier, I don't use Casting Frontier too often, or LA Casting because I'm not in LA. Casting Frontier, if I'm correct, I believe it is really commercials. Atlanta's not really big on commercials, and I'm not really big on commercials because I don't really have a commercial look. Let me look this stuff up before I tell you guys wrong information. I do use Casting Networks just a little bit. I didn't pay for Casting Networks, but I do submit to Casting Network job postings when they link out to somewhere else to submit, and Projects Castings as well. Those have like great stuff. I think my problem is that I'm trying to sign up for things that aren't specific to Atlanta or the Southeast or the East Coast. I believe those things like Casting Frontier and LA Casting are huge in LA and the West Coast, and I'm not subscribed to them now because I was feeling as if I wasn't receiving a lot of stuff, but other people have said differently, and it's probably because of my location. When you're about to subscribe to something, because these casting sites are not cheap. They are not cheap, so make sure you are subscribing to a casting site that is specific to your area, that isn't for a certain industry or market. Like, it will cover all market, and if not, don't subscribe to it. If you don't think that, if you live in Ohio, then don't think that this website has many Ohio subscriptions. Do not subscribe. But the main ones, if you're starting off, especially since Backstage has a lot of background, it has a lot of commercial stuff as well as a lot of online commercial stuff and social media stuff and student and short film. And then Actors Access has a lot of short films and student films as well, and even a couple of background work. But it also has, for Atlanta at least, it's like 3 times a week where it'll be a SAG job actually coming through and they're looking for something. So I love me some Actors Access. This person asks, can you drop some good sides? I want to practice some. I don't know where you can get good sides, if I'm being honest. Okay, so for my acting class, my teacher, he literally gives us acting sides that he's created for us to practice with. So I practice those. I practice scenes that have come out from other shows. So I just if me, I can see myself in a show like Legacies or a witch show, like The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I can see myself in that show. So what I'll do is look up a random episode, season 3 episode 8, acting sides or whatever, or acting script, and I just practice. I don't know anywhere else except books. There are many books that you can buy that have scenes to practice with, but I don't know about sides. Someone asked, isn't it bad to talk about stuff like this? I heard it can affect people getting the job. So this was in relation to me posting about auditioning for a TikTok show called Face It. I in fact did book it. Anyways, I did a show called Face It. It is a TikTok show. We just wrapped season 1. We will be coming out with season 2 soon. I play the character Dion. She is a drug dealer. When the casting call came out for Face It, I just submitted my audition tape or something like that for that TikTok show, Face It. Hopefully I do well or something like that. And someone commented, isn't it bad to talk about stuff like this? I heard it can affect getting the job. Yes, it is very bad to talk about things like this. But because the main way of casting was through TikTok and through social media, everything was already out in the open. Everybody knew what I was reading for when it came to that audition. It was okay. It's only not okay when you move forward and now you're posting about you furthering your audition process and posting the sides that they didn't post on a public platform. I was mutuals with one of the filmmakers on that show, and I was trying to make sure that the show and their casting got to another side of TikTok, because I believe we were on a little bit different sides of TikTok. So I was like, if I posted that I just submitted my audition tape, maybe people who haven't seen it will be like, wait, there's something casting on TikTok? Oh my gosh. So that was my thinking. I have never sat down, besides Face It, which was a TikTok show that was being advertised on TikTok, I have never sat down and said, I am auditioning for Stranger Things. Oh my god. What? Even to this day, I don't know if there will ever be an actual project that I will post my audition self-tapes for that has already released. I don't know. I don't want that juju. I don't want that bad juju. But besides Face It, I've never done that, and I probably will never do that again. Unless it's another TikTok show that one of my mutuals is posting about and I'm trying to gain traction on. But yes, it can hurt you, especially if it is a union project. They can take you to court, they can blackball you. If you sign an NDA and you still post about it, even if you don't post the sides, they can sue you. Sometimes it just looks thirsty and desperate and just almost cocky sometimes, and I've heard casting directors even mention this too, oh, we were looking at this person to audition for this role, right? And we think they're going to be very great for this role. So what we're going to do is we're going to stalk this actor's social media. And oh my goodness, I saw their story and they posted about the fact that they were actually, specifically that they were auditioning for our Hulu show, and you name drop, and then they lose interest, and then you may not be blackballed, but you just lost that job. In retrospect, do not name drop, do not post sides of things you're auditioning for, and you'll be okay. Can you do tips on how to be prepared for headshots and tips for booking? Okay, so how to be prepared for headshots. 1, know your type, your branding, how you want people to perceive you. Also, do a beauty day, right beforehand. Make sure your hair is colored and trimmed the way that you want it to be. Make sure that your skin is clear as much as possible. I know that stuff is sorry, my camera stopped recording. If you need to shave your face like peach fuzz type stuff. I had to do that. I made sure that I shaved my face, I shaped my eyebrows, I got my eyelashes lifted. I bought foundation that correctly matched me because I didn't want any type of, I wanted my skin to continue down my body. I also wore body makeup as well. Make sure you like your outfits. Try on your outfits before you get there that day. Make sure everything fits correctly. Also, when it comes to your look, make sure that this is the look that you like so much that you wouldn't mind having to look like this for a year until you get your next headshots. Especially black women. Me, I change my hair pretty often, or I used to before I got my headshots, and then now I've been rocking this hairstyle for 8-9 months now because I smit with this hairstyle and I book with this hairstyle. So I had to continue with this hairstyle because this is what people know of me. You don't want to look different from your headshots, or just people who like to color their hair a lot. You can't have pink hair in your headshots and then you have blue hair right now, so you're gonna send in a submission tape with blue hair. That's so confusing. Yeah, stick to one hairstyle that you like and go with it. how do you find your auditions, again, casting site for you to self-submit, and networking and connecting with other filmmakers. Like, be bold as an actor. Sometimes you have to be bold. I had to be bold as well. Like, oh my goodness, you're a film major? You want to make a film one day? Like, just one day. All I need is one day with you. And that's all. Someone said, also, I have no idea how to get an agent. You and me both. You and me both. But I got an agent by... Also, you guys, if you didn't know, I was represented once upon a time. Not represented right now. I'm going to tell you how I was represented the first time. I did a showcase, and I try to sway actors against doing showcases, not because they don't work, but because they are extremely expensive, and I feel as if it should be criminal to charge actors that amount the way that they do. If you're charging actors or aspiring actors or people who are literally sleeping in their car to pursue this pipe dream, $5,000 to do a showcase, that's insane. Thank God a lot of acting studios do yearly showcases where they invite dozens of agents and managers and casting directors to sit down in the audience and watch their students perform. And when I say acting schools, I mean acting studios, not acting schools, accredited college board schools. No, I mean acting studios. So that's how I did it the first go around. It was a showcase and I had a callback because they liked me. I had like 4 callbacks. After I did the callback, they liked me enough and I signed with them, and I was there for 2 years. And then my contract ended. That was pretty much it. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just the regular. Look up the list of talent agencies in your location and then go to their website and see how they would like you to submit to them. That's pretty much it. And then the third way is by referrals. This is the most effective way, I believe, because it's like, oh, it's a friend of a friend referring you. You know what I mean? Like, you should get to a place where your acting coach is your friend, and if your acting coach believes in you, then they will be like, I have this agent who's a friend of mine, and I think you guys would be perfect together, and that is a referral. Or a referral could be another acting friend who is already signed, and they believe in you, and they'll go, I'll put in a good word with my agent. So maybe you guys could share that agent together. Someone asks, what type of job do you work that's flexible with being a traveling actress? This was underneath my video of me saying that I needed to go to Knoxville to shoot Fatal Attraction, and then I was working while I was there, and then I came back and still worked, and they were like, what type of job do you do that's flexible with you being a traveling actress? And I was like, well, it's not a flexible job. And they were like, well, it's flexible enough. No, I'm not a traveling actress. I don't book enough to be a traveling actress. Like, this is literally a once a year thing. Like, it's not, I book every single week and I need to be out of my house and out of my state every single week. No, it was one time. And I also work online, and I'm also in IT. Like, it is a lot of heads down work. And when I say I work in IT, I mean, at that time I was a developer. I'm also an intern, so I move around quite a bit, and they don't need me as much as well. Like, I'm constantly doing work, don't get me wrong, but they don't need me in meetings as much because I don't have a lot to contribute besides, oh, I just finished this project, you know? It's not that flexible of a job, if I'm being honest, but it was a one-time thing. I'm not a traveling actress. Like, I'm not a traveling actor. And that's kind of funny that someone thought I was. How did you become an actor? Where did you find auditions? So I'm not going to answer that last question again. But I became an actor by, you know, doing theater in school, getting myself acquainted with the fact of being an entertainer and a performer, and being a person who loves emotions and playing pretend. Being that person for yourself is very, very important. That's how you become an actor. I became a TV and film actor by doing that showcase, getting my package together, which is your headshot, your resume, your reel, and putting all that stuff onto Actors Access, self-submitting and seeing what sticks and seeing who wants me to audition. By the way, don't get on these casting sites if you don't have your package together. You're gonna waste your money. Make sure you have everything together. What acting school / class do you go to? So I'm not comfortable exactly saying the school that I go to now, but I can list a couple that I went to, including the one that I did in LA. It was called Michelle Danner Acting School, I believe. And that one was really good. Really, actually, it was great. It was phenomenal. Do you have a portfolio? Can you do a video how you started? I'm having a little trouble. I'm having a little trouble too, just a little bit. I do have a portfolio. It's basically my Actors Access link, and that's like the first thing people ask for as an actor, because your Actors Access pretty much has your resume, your headshot, your slate shots, clips, and your demo reel on there, and your sizing and stuff, like full body and specifics like what your bust is, your hips, your waist, and all that stuff. So yeah, after you get your package together, make an Actors Access. That's the #1 thing you need. But my portfolio is literally my Actors Access. And you do a video on how you started. It was kind of this one. Someone asked, what does it mean when I posted a video. It's like that A24 movie, and that girl is crying. She's like, I'm a star, and it's trending on TikTok right now. Please, I'm a star. And I posted a video with that audio playing in the background, and it's like when I'm #1 on a call sheet. And someone was like, what does it mean? Okay, so when you're #1 on the call sheet, that means you are the most needed on set. You probably have the most lines. You're probably the most important. You're probably the main lead character. That's what #1 means. And I was the #1 on the call sheet for The Intruder, which was really cool. I've never been a #1 before. It was a great feeling, and I hope to be there one day soon again. So it's like most needed to least needed. And a call sheet as well is the time that they need you on set by. And that's that. I hope I gave y'all some great information. I hope you took a lot of information away, and hope that you're taking notes and you're saying, man, I need to get this, and this going. Because if you are, that means I did my job. I love you all. Go be great. Go be the artists and creatives that you are. Come back next week for another video, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go follow my Instagram and my TikTok, especially my TikTok, because I have more informational and entertaining and vlogs, acting vlogs on there.